Good night. And this will be a short, hopefully short microscopic examination of three samples. My pee, sample from the small crucible, and sample from the medium crucible. That they are not the large one that was used to create the wasps and other stuff outside on the window. They were lighted inside the room. Before we start this, I want to take the opportunity to send a message to every sentient creature on Earth, whether Titan or Venusian by origin or Homo sapiens. Yes, I was tortured by Titans and Homo sapiens all my life, and all of the entire humanity is the blame is on the entirety of humanity. Of course, there are some that are more guilty than others. Of course, the Israelis are the worst, and the intelligence services that are in close cooperation with them. Specifically, the people in the West that are, that populated the entire kind of intelligence services with homosexuals and pedophiles, and use the females as companions. And because of that, tied themselves to Israel in such a strong way. Of course, they are more guilty, but even the enemies of Israel are guilty, because they could have done so much to help me, but they didn't move an arm or a leg, and they still do not, and they should have. And it should be said very clearly. I do not owe anyone of you nothing. I'm not a Venusian. I represent another civilization, and you torture me. You should move arms and legs to rescue me from the state of Israel, from this hell. You haven't done that for so long, and you could have done so much, but you did nothing. You for so long. You wasted, and you knew about my existence, but you wasted your time by speaking with Israelis about all sorts of ridiculous, and testing me with all sorts of ridiculous tests, and judging me forever, and incriminating me, and framing me, and torturing me forever and ever and ever. While you should have moved arms and legs to rescue me from this hell, but you didn't. And I owe no one nothing, anything in this world. You owe me for so many reasons. What you need to do is to move arms and legs to rescue me from the Nazi prison in Israel, me and my daughters. You need to do it using force, not using mouses and tongues. Your filthy mouses and tongues are the cause of your demise, of the end of humankind. Your filthy mouses and tongues. We do not require advice. We do not require any kind of speech. We need arms and legs. For so many years, you've taken my money, all my money from me, and gave so much money to the Nazis in Israel. And my share in this world was such a cruel one. Only advices and consultancy by well-meaning functionaries of the Israeli intelligence totalitarian state, police state. And of course, there are many people abroad that finance them. I do not require your advice. I do not require your guidance. I require arms and legs. Now there is a specific question regarding atomic weapons, and I will discuss it in the next video. Very shortly, I'll put it very, very shortly right now, and so it will be very, very clear. Currently, the number of nuclear warheads in Earth, that are operational, that can be used, is 0. This is the situation right now. 2023. September 13, what's the date? 13? Yes. The number of nuclear warheads, or nuclear weapons, nuclear bombs, on the face of the earth is 0. This is the situation right now. It might be changed, of course. It can change because of all sorts of reasons. This is the current status. 0. Absolutely 0. Not even one that can be used at all. Not even in kind of a partial capacity. 0. It wasn't always like that, and it might not be like that in the future. Certainly, it wasn't always like that. Atomic weapons are not a myth. Yes, I mean, yes, they existed on Earth for a long time, but now there are absolutely zero. There is no excuse for you not to rescue me and my daughters using arms and legs. And of course, before the issue of the atomic weapons, I mean, you had other excuses. You always had excuses why you shouldn't like move arm and leg to rescue me and my daughters. But enough with the excuses. Enough of it. That's what you need to do. You owe me. You owe it to me and my daughters to move arms and legs to get us out of here. Out! Without any movement of mouths and any movement of tongues. Out of the hell. Out of it. We do not require any speech. Once we are out of the territory of Israel, we can speak with you about future arrangements. I'm sure they will be very simple. Very, very simple. We will live in China if they accept us. If not, maybe Germany. And if not, maybe the UK. But why not China? I don't see a reason why not. They will benefit a lot from our presence. We do not require much. What we require is arms and legs. Get us out of this hell. Do it quickly, and do it without a word being uttered, without a tongue moved, without mouth being open. No kind of message is required. No text is required in the broad sense of the word. No kind of any communication is redundant and will only be detrimental to any kind of rescue. This is a divine message, message from God, not less than that. Noam David, me, and my two daughters, Orin and Hila, will be rescued from this hell, from the Nazi prison, only by rescuers that will not speak at all, not even one word. This includes honking of cards like you just heard. This includes any kind of message. Communication is absolutely not required and absolutely will be detrimental. And any speech, even the basic one with the Israelis, will most certainly not only fail the operation, but make our lives even worse, because they will use it as a pretext, I mean, to torture us even more. Our rescue, if it will ever be done, if it won't, I mean, there will be no humans. Humans will cease to exist. But if before there are no humans on Earth, some people will actually come to their senses and understand that they need to move arms and legs, the operation will be successful only if these people will not speak, will not move mouths, and will not move tongues. This is a divine prophecy, a divine message from God, from the Lord. The cherub messenger, Noam Yaakov David, and his two daughters, Hila and Orin, will be rescued, if they are to be rescued, from the Nazi state of Israel, only by foreign forces, and only by foreign forces that will be committed to a complete halt of any movement of mouths and tongues, any kind of movement. Complete halt, complete stop of movement of mouths and tongues until we are out of the territory of Israel. Not a word is required. Not one message is needed. Nothing. Mouths are absolutely not required, and will be and usage of such mouths will be detrimental. We require only arms and legs. Arms and legs alone. Not mouths and not tongues. Arms and legs alone. The best time to do it is right now. Any other time is less than optimal. The second best time is a moment from now, etc., etc. We do not require speech at all. We do not require plans at all. We do not require consultancy at all. We require arms and legs, and mouths that are closed, and tongues that are committed not to move until we are out of this hell. Once me and my daughters are out of this hell, I assure you, conversation will be swift and simple. We do not demand much. I never intended to be a very rich person, even though I could have been like a billionaire long ago. And I do not like seek any political power, and you understand it already. My wish is to be able to raise my daughters without the constant threat of predators. That's my wish. Besides that, of course, I will want to be able to continue my research, which is centered in extremely important practical areas. Any nation that is conducting manufacture stuff. Will it be easily benefit tremendously from such research, because it's very practical, extremely practical. In the long term, I am also committed to making the situation in Venus better, and also to similar, I would say, space-related issues. But this is the long term. The short term is that I need to raise my daughters without the constant threats of predators, of predatory animals. I want to be allowed to be able to raise my daughters as a father, as the loving father that I always have been to them, without me and them always under this kind of always under the claws of predators that seek to eat our flesh. That's what we require, and this can never be done out in Israel. That's why we need to be rescued from this hell. We need to be able to live. I need to be able to raise my daughters. They should know that their father will always be there for them, and not always fear of the predators that are flying above their heads since they were born. Enough of these predators. Enough of the predatory animals. All of these demands are extremely simple to fulfill by China or any other country in this world. But first, we need to be out of Israel, out of here. No logistical speech is needed, no logistical planning is needed, nothing at all, only movement of arms and legs, with mouths closed and tongues not moving. This is what is required, and this is what is absolutely essential in order for us to be out of this hell. If this will not happen, there will be no humans, and the day is very, very close. The day is close. In the next video, I will describe issues, both history and physics and biology, and maybe even paleontology if we'll have even enough time. All of it related to the atomic issue, and this will also, give you explanation why there are currently no atomic warheads in this world. Even though I think that just by watching the videos or listening to the videos that from the last couple of days, it should be enough for you to understand the general idea. TLDR, because I don't want anyone need to be to keep it in tension. TLDR, since long ago, uranium and plutonium that in Earth cannot be mined since long ago. They are obtained from the Israelis, and I will speak about it in more elaboration, because there is so much disinformation and lying surrounding this process. But TLDR, all of it is actually, whether you understand it or not, or maybe even some of the Israelis you don't understand it, but all of it is synthetic. It was created in laboratory. All of it. It might not look like laboratories that, like the CERN Super Collider or any kind of laboratories that you see in movies with people who are pompous like scientists with white robes. No, it might look more like mangal, like in Yom Ha'atzmaut, like barbecue in the Independence Day, in Gan Saker in Jerusalem, in Israel. Or any kind of other kind of a big or the Mimuna in the day after Passover, big kind of barbecue over charcoals, with all sort of people of various backgrounds, celebrating. But nevertheless, this is a laboratory. Whether you understand it or not, it's all synthetic. And because of that, all of it in whatever form it is, like even if it's like it's like inside atomic weapons or in nuclear, I mean whatever, I mean in any kind of storage that is that I mean right now, any kind of storage. Of the various warheads, I don't even know where they store them, but I mean, obviously they store them somewhere. So all of these bombs or warheads, whatever you want to call them, they most certainly contain tremendous amount of the entities that I call Neros, the robots that I mean are documented very well in these channels. I mean, there are hundreds of hours of documentation of these robots. It cannot be any other way because they are the laboratory workers. They created this stuff. And the Israelis have no way to actually separate it from each other. It's impossible for them. And they are all, I mean, because I mean, they vary tremendously inside these robots. I mean, even like in the microscopic scale, like I mean, laboratory condition, was able to go them, almost to the non-microscopic scale. Like I mean, they were almost like visible by the naked eye, but not. Which means like the largest, like in the largest scale within the microscopic scale, and they come in all sorts of other sizes until the down to the sub-nanoscopic scale. How is it possible? It is possible. You cannot even watch such. In the nanoscopic scale, you need electron microscope, and even with the electron microscope, it might be difficult for you to actually detect it. And all of these Neros, recently, they are busy with creating life forms that are amazing, and actually. Let's speak about it like in the next chapter, or let's say, the whole idea is just to tell you, they eat this stuff, okay? They eat this stuff. Now, this was quite a long video, so I will stop now, and I'll just continue with immediately with the microscopic examination, and after that we will speak about. I will elaborate more about the whole issue of nuclear energy and the history of the Venusian exploitation, because there are many things to say, and perhaps I'll not speak about everything because there is a ton of things. This is a very complicated issue that is related to many aspects of the Venusian exploitation and things that I speak about in this channel, and were mentioned in many sagas, the series of videos that I published. But it's important for you, anyone, to know. You do. Whoever you are, you know that you don't have warheads, nuclear warheads. Maybe you keep it as a secret, but you know that you have nothing. So I will tell you, everybody else have nothing, and the Israelis have zero. This is the current situation in Earth. Zero nuclear weapons currently. It wasn't always like that. It might not be like it in the future, but this is current situation. So no, it's not. There is no. Presumably the nuclear threat is not an excuse not to rescue my daughters from the Nazi prison, and no other excuse is a valid one. It's all directly, stemmed rooted in your ego. If you overcome your ego, you can rescue us very simply, whoever you are.